guys, so today I'm going to be looking at crazy stories people need to tell. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. Years ago, I was hitchhiking north of Richmond, Virginia when a car with two dudes picked me up. We got to chatting and it turns out they were headed to their friend's place to shoot guns and asked if I wanted to join. I asked if his friend would be okay with a random homeless fellow shooting his guns and he said, hell, just pretend to be my cousin from Seattle. So instead of sitting on the highway in 100-degree weather, I spent an afternoon eating hamburgers, shooting guns and blowing stuff up with bags of tannerite on some random employee's woodland property. Don't remember your name, dude, but you were the man. Thanks for a great memory. I can't believe they actually went though. That would never be me though. I'm just not trusting of people. Okay, if they're like, hey, you want to come over? I'd be like, no. Why? Why would I come over? Everybody be sus nowadays. A little while back, my roommate was contacted by a wealthy man in the area who wanted to pay her to be his live-in pet for an entire month. She thought that this was a cutesy way of saying that it was a sugar daddy baby arrangement. Turns out what he actually meant was that she would be given a room, board and a very healthy allowance to spend a large portion of her day dressed as a cat, walking on her hands and knees, eating out of a bowl, using a litter box, and yet sleeping in a little cage at night. Sex wasn't even on the table. He was only interested in having a human cat for a month. She seriously considered the offer for a weekend and then politely declined. Yo, what? Dude. Wow, people be so rich, they just want crazy things, you know? It's so weird. They just want things that nobody else has kind of thing, like things that aren't normal just because they have money. It's odd. Why would you get yourself a freaking human cat when you could get yourself an actual cat? You bum. You know, dude, animals look so much cuter than humans, okay? And he didn't even want this for like a sexual reason. So like, why doesn't he just get an actual cat? I mean, I personally do not even want him to get a cat now because he sounds a bit cuckoo, you know? I wouldn't want a cat in his hands. Jeez. I am adopted. I have nothing to do with my biological family except for a half-brother who I reconnected with last year. We're friends on Facebook. About a year and a half ago, I spent 6 months as a pizza delivery driver. While there, I met a man, probably in his 50s or so. We got along. He was a driver just for something to do since he's retired now. I quit the job 6 months in, but a couple months ago, I came back and the guy was still there. A week ago, my brother tags me on Facebook, as well as my coworker. A few days later, I ask my coworker how he knows my brother. After a misunderstanding, my brother has the same name as his father, so when I asked, he thought I was talking about my brother's father. We found out that the coworker is actually my uncle by marriage, or was. He was married to my biological mum's sister for some 20 years, until they divorced a couple years ago. The guy used to babysit me when I was a baby, and has pictures of my brother and my biological mum that he gave me. He's currently looking for baby pictures of me, because I don't have any from when I was adopted. My mum and dad would be super happy if he can find them. Wow. Crazy. What the heck is this coincidence, man? Dude, so you just never know who you might meet, right? You can meet a murderer, a serial killer, your father, your long lost mother, you know, your long lost sister, your long lost cousin. You don't know who you might meet. That's crazy. A few years ago, I'd go to college in the morning and leave at like midnight because I didn't have a PC and needed to work on homework at school. One time, on the last train ride home, I had to catch 2 trains and 2 buses each way to get there and back. We were coming into the last station where I'd get off. There was this Asian guy acting a bit strange the whole ride. He gets up and stands in the middle of the car, and as the train brakes coming into the station, he falls flat on his face from a full standing position. Lays there until the train stops, stands up, dusts himself off and walks out of the open doors like nothing happened. Oh, he fell inside the train? Oh my god, I thought he fell onto the train tracks. Oops. I saw this guy doing it like 5 other separate times, and since I was used to it at that point, I enjoyed looking out for the uninitiated riders' reactions. Plenty more slightly weird stuff happened on my late night subway rides home. I really enjoyed the entertainment. Wait, was he doing it on purpose, or is that just what he does every single time? Like, is he trying to make people laugh, or like, what's going on, man? Maybe he likes the attention, maybe he's drunk, I don't know. My parents are blind optimists. They think nothing bad will happen to anyone in our family. One day I got jumped by some losers in a gang. I go home and tell my parents and they look at me and say, Well, there's fried chicken in the oven. Unbelievable. I was 14. Unbelievable. How could my parents do that to me? Well, it's okay. You just got jumped. At least you're alive, right? Now eat the chicken. When my mum was pregnant with me, she and my father divorced and he gave up all parental rights. I've never met him or spoken to him. I've only seen a few pictures. About 2 years ago, I worked at a healthcare facility where I would float to different offices around the county based on who needed the help. This one particular morning, I was checking the doctor's schedule and saw my father's name. He was scheduled to be in the office next door to where I was working, and I thought it was pretty crazy, but I most likely wouldn't even see him. The time of his appointment came and he walked into my office straight up to me and he says he had a doctor's appointment with Dr. X. My heart was racing because I knew it was him as soon as he walked through the door. I told him Dr. X was the office next door and he left. A little while later, I walked over to the other office to deliver some faxes, and on my way out, he trailed behind me and I held the door for him. He said thank you, and that was my one and only interaction with my father in my 30 years of living. Wow, that's so freaking sad. That was their only interaction. Her dad gave up parental rights, yo. I'll be heartbroken, dude. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I guess in the end, at the end of the day, if they're your parents, you just always long for them, even if they did nothing good for you, right? Well, I guess it's probably not the case for adults, but I hear that happening for kids a lot. Even if they know that their parents are bad, they still long for their parents and they still want their parents. About 19 years ago, 3-year-old me and my mum and dad come home to find our cat Nubs is missing. The entire family turns the entire apartment upside down, but to no trace of our cat is found. My mum decides to make missing flyers even though all the doors and windows were locked at the time. Days turn into weeks, then into months. She finally comes to terms with the fact that her cat is gone and has disappeared. Cut to last year. My grandma out of the blue says she lost Nubs. She says while we were out shopping, she decided to go to the mall across the street and took my baby stroller to hold extra bags. While she was in the middle of the mall, Nubs, unbeknownst to her, wakes up and jumps out of the bottom mesh pouch under the seat and takes off. My grandma, being too nervous and scared to ask for help, just leaves the store and our cat there. Cue us coming home like half an hour later after she gets back home. She helped us look for this cat too. It makes me hysterically emotional to think about what happened to my mum's favorite cat. This is the story of how our cat just one day out of the blue vanished into thin air. Now we finally have the answer. No, Nubs. What the heck? Why would the grandma not ask for help, man? Seriously, she didn't chase the cat? Come on. She lost the cat just like that, and she didn't even stay to look for the cat. She just left the cat and went back home? Yo, no way. Why did she decide to tell everyone now? You know? I'm about to die, so let me tell you, I lost your cat. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoy. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.